A former Planned Parenthood Employee of the Year is awarded $3 million after successfully suing the abortion giant. An Arizona court ruled last month former Planned Parenthood director Mayra Rodriguez was wrongfully terminated after working at the abortion business for 17 years. Rodriguez says she was unfairly dismissed after she raised ethical and legal breaches at Planned Parenthood, ranging from falsification of patient records to failure to report a minor with an adult sexual partner. Rodriguez directed 3 different clinics and was even named Employee of the Year in 2016, the year before she was fired and then filed suit. Mayra Rodriguez joins us now from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First off, Mayra, how are you feeling now that you officially won your case in court?
Well, there's a sense of relief. It's been 2 years. We started this Team Casey, took my case 2 years ago. He believed in me, trusted that I was telling the truth, and took my case 2 years ago. And then we made it to a trial. And now that, you know, the sense of when 10 people agree with you that you're telling the truth, I can't explain how it feels.
Can you share with us what were some of the more egregious breaches you witnessed at Planned Parenthood?
Well, I remember the one that I said that's it is the last drop. It was the mischarting information from the doctor. So there was a specific doctor, you know, that what happened in the room, it's not what he kept charting on his chart. And that was one. There was a specific case. I think you have read about it on the newspaper, or in my case, it's in my lawsuit about a patient that was there for an abortion and ended up having incomplete abortion and IUD inserted. Nothing like that was ever charted, you know. So that was one of the things. It was outrageous to me, you know, because the patient deserved to know what happened to her in the room.
When you made Planned Parenthood aware of your concerns, how did they respond to your complaints?
Well, there was usually, don't worry about it, just do your job. You know, there was something like, you know, if you keep complaining about it, other people will tell me, Mayra, people get fired from talking like that. But, you know, I couldn't stay quiet. I was very vocal when I saw things going wrong, and I was known for that. You know, if I see something going wrong, I will say it.
Why then did Planned Parenthood claim that they fired you?
Well, on the year of 2017, we closed down the clinic that I had been managing for over 10 years, which was the Northeast Phoenix facility, due to the title, the expectation about not having title programs anymore. So I was packing up that clinic. I was away from the Glendale location, which is the biggest abortion clinic in Arizona, where I had just started to manage in November of 2016, and I was gone the entire week in September, and when I came back for a meeting, I was told there were narcotics on my desk, and that was the reason they fired me.
So to clarify, Mayra, you argue that these narcotics were planted on your desk.
I argued that I was not the one who put the narcotics on my desk, and that there were other motives for being fired.
Mayra, Planned Parenthood markets itself as being pro-immigrant rights. As an immigrant yourself, is that true? What was your experience?
Mm-hmm. Well, my experience as an immigrant was that at the moment that they found out I was an undocumented person working for them, I was attacked by that during the trial. You know, that was the reason they called me a liar, because if I was an undocumented person and working there, therefore I was a liar.
Mayra, has this entire experience of being fired and going to court changed your perception of Planned Parenthood's business? And if so, how?
Well, they didn't care much for me. You know, they didn't care much for me as an immigrant. They didn't care much for me as a woman. You know, so, and obviously, I didn't do anything wrong when they fired me. You know, because it's not for being undocumented they fired me. That was not the reason why they fired me. So I didn't do anything wrong, you know, for them to fire me. I was doing my job. I was telling what was wrong at my clinic. So I lost my job, and then it took a lot of courage to do this, because obviously in my situation, I was afraid to come forward, but I knew I had to do it because I want other people to be able to come forward. If they see something wrong, then they should come up and say it.
Mayra Rodriguez, thank you for your courage and sharing your testimony and for taking the time to be with us.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
We will air part 2 of our interview with Mayra Rodriguez next week. She tells us what she thinks we should know about Planned Parenthood's business.